deep, way down the left side, way downfield, and it's caught for a touchdown! Touchdown! A marvelous catch! What a catch!
Well, hello! Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video, and welcome to the Gridiron. And before I get started, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone out there who's been watching my videos. If you give my videos a thumbs up, or maybe leave a comment below, or maybe share my video, I greatly appreciate it. But once again, thank you so much for taking time to watch the video. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Well, yesterday, or should I say last night, the NFL got underway. That's what you got to know about the Hall of Fame weekend. It's the first preseason game of the year, and it takes off from there. You got to realize so today's Friday, so in 8 days, the Giants are going to be playing the first preseason game against the Jets. Whew, my goodness. Isn't it just incredible or what, huh? It's like my favorite time of the season. It's like just waiting for Christmas to come. Waiting, because once the Christmas gets here, then it's before you know it, it's over with, and then, it's kind of like the same thing with regular season. It's like once the first game gets here, it's like before you know it, 2, 3, 4 games go by, and it's like, oh God, quarter of the season's over already. Then another game goes by or so, and the game just, before you know it, it's like week 8 or 9. You're like, oh my God, half the season's over with already. It's just crazy. And then before you know it, it's like week 13 or 14. You're like, what the hell happened to the season? And of course, well, a lot of times with the Giants, by the time we get to 13 or week 14 or whatever, Giants are out of the playoff line, But it's just amazing how fast the weeks just fly on by. But 8 days, Giants and the Jets. Wow, Saturday night. Whew, it's going to be great, huh? But the Hall of Fame game was kind of a, it was 3-0 at halftime. The only score in the first half was the Cowboys kicked a field goal. It kind of, they recovered a Steelers fumble, and they, let me read off some of these drives here for you. I mean, the final score is Steelers won 16-3. I mean, the Cowboys, in the fourth quarter, it was 4th and 1. They were at their own 32-yard line, and they went for it. I mean, I guess it's preseason. I guess it's no big deal, but I mean, it's like 4th and 1 from on 32, and they didn't make it either. Let me see. The first drive the Cowboys scored on, the only scoring in the first half, the Cowboys recovered a fumble. They went 37 yards on 11 plays, averaged like 3 yards a play. Then the Steelers had a big drive. They went 33 yards on 5 plays. They scored a touchdown. Of course, the extra point was bad. The kicker was horrible, absolutely horrible. The Cowboys field goal, I think it skimmed the inside of the upright and it bounced through. The Cowboy kicker was 1 for 3. The Steelers kicker was 1 for 2 in field goals, and it was 1 for 2 on extra points. I mean, the kicker was horrible. Then the Steelers kicked a field goal to go up 9-3. They went 14 plays they went 14 yards in 9 plays. Wow. And then their last drive, they scored a touchdown. They went 32 yards on 7 plays. So the longest drive of the whole game, I think, was like 37 yards. I mean, it was pretty brutal. Big Ben didn't play. Dak didn't play. I'm not sure if Dak is back or not. I mean, they keep saying all these wonderful things about him, but something wrong with his shoulder. So we'll have to see how long that lingers on for. But I mean, it was tough. I mean, the Cowboys had like 4 turnovers. I mean, Cowboys had like 347 yards of offense. Steelers only had 250, but the Steelers capitalized on all the Cowboys' turnovers, and that's why the Steelers won. It was not the best of football, but there is better football yet to come. But as I said, once that Hall of Fame game starts, that's when all the action starts happening there. Oh, whew, boy, it's awesome. Awesome. I love this time of season. Absolutely fantastic. Then I saw on the Pro Football Network, Mike Garafolo, he was talking about, they asking when are we going to see Saquon on the field, or when we're going to see, he was talking about Kenny Golladay, and he was talking about Saquon, and just, he was talking about just like looking at him on the sideline, doing his moves and stuff like that and all and everything, and he was talking about it. He would be rather shocked if Saquon wasn't playing week 1. I mean, I can see the Giants, don't touch him preseason. We don't want nothing. You know what I mean? But he said he would be pretty shocked if he wasn't if he wasn't playing week 1. He said it would have to be very soon after that. I mean, week 2 or 3, maybe like at the absolute latest. He'll be on a pitch count. Obviously, you're not going to go in there and give him 30 carries the first game. So maybe 10 touches, maybe 10 to 12, maybe, But so hopefully he'll be back for the first game. Maybe we can get Kyle Rudolph back, maybe hopefully for the first game. Then he was also talking about Kenny Golladay as well, too. And it looks like the worst case scenario we avoided. Because a hamstring, I mean, that could be a couple months. If you got a bad hamstring, that could be months. Thankfully, it looks more like a tweak. It might be just 2 to 3. I mean, they're going to keep an eye on it. 2, maybe 3 weeks, hopefully at the absolute latest. So hopefully, that will leave him back in time, come back for the season opener. Now the Brown, it's important to get the timing down with the quarterback. I mean, you can learn your plays, but to get the timing down with the quarterback is very, very important. So I mean, when he comes back, will he be on a pitch count too? Maybe. I just hopefully this would be his only hamstring tweak of the whole year. I mean, that's it. It's just so annoying. It's like, I mean, how you can just like run, and boom, there goes your hamstring. It's like, that's just the way it is with some guys. I mean, it's like, to get a concussion, you got to make some contact. I mean, if you're going to like maybe tear, a defensive lineman goes in, maybe tries to make a tackle or something, and the running back grabs his arm the wrong way or something, and maybe tears his bicep. Well, that's a contact injury. It's like amazing. Like these guys running, they maybe make a stop and a cut, boom, there goes their ACL. Or they're running also, boom, whoop, there goes their hamstring. It's like, that's really frustrating. It's frustrating, obviously, for us fans, but it's also frustrating for the player, too. Especially when he comes in, he signs a big-ass contract, 4 years, $72 million, big-ass contract. And, it was, sixth, seventh day of spring training, or training camp, he pulls his hamstring. So hopefully, we'll start babying these guys, and hopefully when we start playing against Denver, these guys will be on the field. Hopefully. But we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, then I got Joe Judge. He was talking about it. I read a little article that, for Joe Looney and Todd Davis, he kind of like left it. The guys who retired, that played for them retired. He didn't leave the door open for Kelvin Benjamin, but he left the door open for Todd Davis and Joe Looney. He kind of also mentioned, he said, he didn't go into specifics on exactly what he was talking with the guys, but that's a conversation that we're talking. He said some of them were maybe it was like a little personal problem, or maybe some type of family problem they had at home, and I guess they wanted to take some time away, or so he was leaving the door open, and he said it's a long season. Now it's the longest season. It's going to be 18 weeks, 17 games. Guys get hurt. You never know when you're going to need guys to come in and to back up, and I mean especially with injuries. Now you got 17 games. You never know when you're going to need some quality guys to come in and back up your starters. And I mean, obviously, things like this happen. I mean, like Joe Looney came in, said his body wasn't responding, the way he thought it would be and all and everything. And, a lot of guys, it's not the first time it's happened. I'm not saying that's what Todd Davis and Joe Looney did. I'm not saying that at all. But I am saying that guys in the past have come up with sneaky ways of getting out of training camp. And then magically, all of a sudden, once regular season's ready, they're ready to play. I'm good to go. I had a problem at home, but But spring training's over with, and all of a sudden, magically, my problem at home is all better. I'm ready to play football now. So some guys in the past have tried to weasel their way out of training camp. And I said, I'm not saying that's what these guys are doing, but possibly, maybe 2, 3, 4, halfway through the season, whatever, if we can use an inside linebacker or maybe a little quality backup on the offensive line, maybe all of a sudden Joe Looney might be want to come out of retirement, or maybe Todd Davis. Who knows? So he said, no animosity. He wishes those guys nothing but the best, and he did say, I'm leaving the door open for them. So if they want, just give me a call, and maybe they might come back. The other thing I wanted to say was, I'll leave a link in the description box. It was I saw it on Pro Football Network. It's on my app on the phone, and it was kind of a rant that Michael Irvin. It was a good rant that Michael Irvin had on the Giants, the fight that they have, and it's kind of funny because if you know Michael Irvin, I mean, whether you like the guy or whether you hate the guy, the one thing the guy does, he brings passion. He brings it. As I said, whether you like the guy, you agree with him, disagree with him, he played with the Cowboys, so a lot of us Giant fans don't like him, but you gotta love the dude's passion. One thing, one of the reasons why I hate the Eagle fans is because when his career, the last play he had was at the Vet Stadium. He was playing against the Eagles in 1999. He caught a ball and around his own 40-yard line from Troy Aikman. His head hit the turret, and he wound up with an injury, and he's laying there. And he was there for he was moving. It wasn't like he was there and he didn't move at all. I mean, you could see little movement on him, so you knew he wasn't paralyzed. But he was laying down there, and he was there for a while. But once he was hurt, and he was laying there, and he didn't get up. And after about 10, 15 seconds laying there, the vets, you can, if you watch it on YouTube, you can hear the whole crowd going crazy. Guys laying there, possibly quadriplegic or whatever, and the Eagle fans are going crazy, loving it. The only thing I can kind of say is when he got carried off the field on a stretcher and went into the ambulance, the Eagle fans, or I don't know if it was the Eagles, I mean, the Cowboy fans and the Eagle fans, were clapping for him. But it was kind of a little, shows you kind of what the Eagle fans are all about. A lot of them, not all, but a lot of them. When a guy's laying there possibly paralyzed in the middle of a football field and you're cheering because he's injured, pretty classless. But anyway, as I said, the guy, he brings it. He was all fired up about the Giants. He's like, I was sitting there in my house, and I was like, oh my God, and, what I mean, and he was like, he's like, man, I'm so happy God put me on TV because now I can shed some light on why the Giants fought on, and he's trying to tell everybody that it was a good thing. And he also was saying, like, Joe Judge was, like, yelling at the guys and all that stuff and everything. Yeah, we can't have this, and we can't, you guys, and, But Michael Irvin's like, yeah, when he got into the coach's room, and he closed the door, he's like slapping, they fought, they're buying into the system. He's like, they're just bumping each other and all that, So Joe, he's like, yeah, Joe Judge is, I'm sure he's really, really happy about the fact that they fought. He said that Michael Irvin said that Joe Judge has successfully changed the culture of the Giants. He's like, when you go out there the first day, put pads on, you start fighting. He said, you've changed the culture. All right. He said he said, I wish it was the Cowboys that were fighting each other on the first day. And he said, he praised, and he praised Daniel Jones for getting in the fight. He said that was like bonding. That's his, I'm part of the offense. I'm in the fight. You know what I mean? So that shows a lot. So he was congratulating Daniel Jones for getting in the fight. He said that it was incredible. He said it was absolutely incredible that the Giants got into a fight on the first day. He said, I want to congratulate Joe Judge. He said, he said, better watch out. He said, the rest of the NFC East. He said, the Giants have successfully changed the culture, and he said the rest of the NFC better, NFC East, I think, better watch out. So he was all fired up. I'll leave a link. You can check it out. He was all fired up about it. And I said on my video, I think after the fight, I said, I'll bet you, I'll bet you, like, I don't know if Joe Judge was saying, he probably wouldn't say it, but I'm sure he was probably thinking it, what I mean? Because he's trying to bring that toughness. It's New York, toughness, So I'll bet you in the back of his mind, he was probably kind of happy that the Giants fought, they brought it, So I think that the Giants are ready to do some head knocking, and I'm certainly not saying we're going to the Super Bowl or we're going to have a winning record or not like that, but I don't think the Giants are going to take any crap this year. Well, as always, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. You guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo!